Video Barbershop version 1.1.7, now available in Apple Test Flight. There's been some updates and some bug fixes, but I'm going to talk about the EQ visualization that has been added. Now, I've got a video clip here that has some clicking in it, and to remove clicking from your file, it's a little bit of a black magic, art here that it's a little vague. Now I do have the audio unit, Apple's audio unit version 3 plugin chain, and in a previous video I discussed how you can save off a collection of settings. This one I used as an example for what I have to clean up audio, but what that actually means and how you can create your own and edit your audio and visualize what you're actually dealing with, this is the new tool. The Spectral Analysis that's been added. This is new to 1.1.7, and what this does is, let me just turn it on, it overlays a spectral analysis of the frequencies in the video, as you can see in here. And what this relates to, it's kind of like a graphic EQ, but the values are a little different. They're not your traditional graphic EQ. So it's based upon the graphic EQ audio unit here from Apple. And so if you add that in and select that, you'll now see that the controls are color coded, and these frequency ranges relate to the same color coding and the same frequency ranges in here. So that you can now see specifically what frequencies are playing at what times. Now, I'm not quite sure. I'm playing the audio through a speaker. The audio is getting recorded on my webcam here, so the the quality is pretty bad, I know, but you may not actually hear the clicking here. So let's just see if you can hear the clicking. You may not, but I'm just going to play it and show you an example anyway. So there's clicking in there. Hopefully you could have heard it. However, now with this EQ, you can find it. Let me just scan right there. That frame, there's a click. And so specifically here, I'm gonna play it again, and you can see that pop out very briefly for a frame. There we go. So let's just hop back. Don't remember where. Oh, there it is. So we can go frame by frame, catch it. It's just that single frame, that's where that pop is. And those are the frequency ranges in which it pops in. So you can see it's the 6300 hertz and the 8000 or 8 kilohertz. Those two, and then these two, though mostly in the 10 kilohertz range. And so these are the frequencies in which that popping is mostly occurring. I'm gonna drop those down. It's not so much in here, and it's not really in here, so I'm just gonna maybe drop these down a little bit. And if you see, nothing has really changed in here. This is your original raw audio. To see the changes applied, you need to hit the preview. And what's new in 1.1.7 is the preview previously just kind of popped up and overlaid here, but what I'm doing is I'm embedding it into this area here so that you can compare the two side by side. Now, what you can do is go frame by frame. As you're affecting the timeline here, it updates both. And so you can find, there you go, you can find where the pop originally occurred and see what's going on now. I'm actually scrolling back around, but let me get back to it. So you can see frame by frame both before and after now visualized, and if you want to play the sample audio, you do that down here. Technically I could still hear it just a hair, and you can even see it. There's a little pop there under that frame. So as he's walking, there's another. Yeah, so that's what it used to be. It used to be much more aggressive. So we've definitely toned it down, but you can see these frequency ranges are still getting some element in there. And so you can go through and really focus on exactly what you want. Now, the graphic EQ, let's see this. So you can see, let's see. Oh, there's where that pop was. Now it's just a shadow of what it used to be. So what these graphs actually represent, as I said, they aren't truly graphic EQs in a normal sense. What they represent is, on the left side, it's power within those frequencies, not volume and not what you're actually hearing, but the raw frequency power that's given to those frequency ranges. That is what's being analyzed here. And so you can see what is still existing within your changes relative to what they used to be. But again, this isn't truly the volume in what you're hearing. It's the the power that's going into it that will translate to what you're hearing. So even something like this, where it's still technically there, you may not audibly hear it, but there's still data there in that. Those higher ranges we've pretty much killed, so there's really no data, no power going into those wave signals and those frequencies. Now the right side, what the right side represents is a deviation of a change in the signal for that frequency. So that's why you can see the click so easily now, and why you may not see anything normally, or what you do see is pretty low. This isn't what you're actually hearing, but rather the change of what you're hearing. And that click is a very large change to what wasn't there before. So that's why it can stand out, against what you're doing. Now, if you're just listening to the volume, like a normal graphic EQ is, generally kind of what you're hearing, or rather, that's what a VU is. Technically, it's, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not an audio guy. I'm more concerned with the application in my program, which is I want to find audio flaws and I want to figure out how to clean them up. And so what I've done is I've adjusted the algorithms that are used and the graphing, so that you can find these deviations and you can find these pops and clicks easily, and then accordingly go into the graphic EQ and adjust those as you see fit, or as you're going in. Like for this example, you could just literally go into that frame, and like we could go in here and say split the clip at the cursor and say, now the click will be right there, and so we want that, and again split the clip at the cursor. And so now technically this, like, what is it, 2 frame clip that we've done in between here, here's clip 1, clip 2, which is our click, and clip 3. now we could go in and say, okay, I'm going to go into the audio here specifically, and I'm going to be extremely aggressive and just kill everything. And not only that, but see, this drops it down by 20 decibels. So you can add in another graphic EQ, and you can do the same thing of like layer on an additional 20. Let's just kind of really kill those high frequency ranges. Non-existent. So there's still, like, again, this isn't volume, this isn't what you're truly hearing, this is power, and this is still a change, and it's a little misleading because it's scaled to be more visualized, but you can layer them like that so that it really dampens from what the original was, and in just that frame. So then we can then merge the clips, and we've isolated just that one really annoying pop, split it out, and like that's what it used to be, right? We've isolated it, and you can clean up your audio if you really want to spend the time and energy to go through and do this. You can do that. You can create just a simple plugin and just, you know, tone down some of this, not quite be so aggressive, but you can get the higher frequencies that you really don't want. A lot of pops, clicks, hisses, static, a lot of that exists in the higher ranges. So in the future, I do want to keep adding to this. So this visualization is really great for seeing the power and what you've done and how it's affected the various channels in the frequencies, and then also finding these deviations. But I would like to add in, you know, a traditional graphic EQ and a VU, and give you just more information to be able to find frequencies that you may need to clean up or fix, or applying these, seeing how it actually translates to what you're hearing, you know, stuff like that. I do want to add in more visualizations, but right now that's what I've got in 1.1.7. I think it's really great to be able to see this and have the graphic EQ now match. The reason, as you probably figured out, the reason it's vertical here in both these sides is to match up exactly what this plugin displays here, and then I've color coded it now. So you can see them one for one. But you know, I'm really excited, but how Video Barbershop can really get used quickly and easily to fix and clean up your videos. And so that's just an added feature in 1.1.7 that I'm really excited about for cleaning up VHS tapes. So if you haven't downloaded the beta for free yet, it's available on Apple's test flight. Link is in the description of the YouTube channel itself. Please download it, play with this, send me feedback. Love to hear how you're using it and what features you could really use. Maybe you do edit video audio more aggressively, and there's a specific visualization that you would like to see in here to make it that much easier and faster for you to isolate these problems. You know, definitely let me know and I'll add it in. Okay, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Take care.